Once upon a time, there was this huge monastery in China where around 500 monks lived. They were all dedicated to their master's teachings and were on a journey of self-discovery. One fine day, a man came to the monastery with a burning desire to become a disciple. He approached the Zen master and eagerly expressed, "Hey there, I really want to understand myself and discover the truth." The Zen master gave him a serious look and said, "If you really want to know the truth, you have to be willing to risk everything. It might take your entire life to find it, and even then, there's no guarantee you'll succeed. Are you up for the challenge?" Liang, the disciple, replied confidently, "I didn't come here just to back down. I'm ready for whatever comes my way." So the master was like, "All right, if you're down for it, here's what you gotta do. There are 500 monks in this place, and your job is to take care of pounding rice. Just keep going at it from morning till evening. Whenever you feel tired, get some shut-eye, and then get back to pounding rice when you wake up in the morning. Don't have any other plans or thoughts. Stick to this routine and don't bother coming to me again. I'll come find you when I need ya." And Liang, well, he started pounding that rice just like his master told him to. In that monastery, there were 500 disciples who all needed to eat. So this guy would wake up early in the morning and spend the whole day pounding rice to feed everyone. When he got tired, he would just crash in the same room without speaking or being disturbed by anyone. At first, his mind was filled with thoughts while pounding rice for a few months. But eventually, when those thoughts couldn't find anything new to bother him with, they started fading away on their own. Gradually, his mind became more peaceful. After a couple of years, he even completely forgot his own name. He would just stay quiet and mindlessly pound rice. He didn't bother with meditation or reading any holy texts. The top disciples at the monastery saw him as a fool and thought of themselves as way superior to him. So, after a whole 12 years of doing this thing, one fine day, the Zen master drops a bombshell and declares that it's time for me to pick my successor. Like, how crazy is that? This lucky person will become the big boss of this monastery after I'm gone. But here's the kicker. Only those disciples who have reached self-realization are eligible for this gig. So to prove their worthiness, they gotta sneak up to my door at night and scribble down a few lines summarizing their entire journey. Talk about pressure. Lots of followers had the idea to do it, but one of the main guys from the monastery actually went ahead and wrote something. He was super smart about all things Buddhist. All his fellow disciples saw him as a potential successor to their master. This is what he wrote. The mind is like a mirror that gets covered in dust from thoughts and desires. Meditation is like sweeping away that dust. Once your mind's mirror is clear, free from all that gunk, you've reached salvation. So, picture this. The master wakes up one morning and sees these lines written on his wall. He's furious and asks, "Who on earth wrote all this nonsense?" The chief disciple stays quiet. Turns out, the lines were actually filled with wisdom, but it was all just from books, not genuine insight. The chief disciple was quite smart. He wrote the lines but didn't sign them because he wasn't sure if they were right or not. He hadn't reached that level of self-realization yet. The master straight up rejects those lines, leaving everyone in disbelief. This whole incident becomes the talk of the entire monastery. While two disciples were chatting about the topic, they happened to walk by another disciple who had arrived at that place 12 years ago and used to work tirelessly pounding rice day and night. Upon hearing their conversation, he chuckled softly. Intrigued by his laughter, the two disciples inquired about the reason behind it. They asked him because they didn't really think much of that guy. He was just a small-time monk who seemed to do nothing but pound rice all day. No one ever saw him reading or meditating, so everyone thought he was just a clueless fool. But to their surprise, when they saw him smiling, it intrigued and amazed them. So they asked him again, "Why did you laugh?" And the rice pounder just replied, "I laughed because the master is right. These lines are complete trash. They don't hold any worth." The disciples were taken aback by this and inquired, "Can you come up with better lines then?" To which the rice pounder responded, "Well, I can't write since I'm illiterate, but I can certainly say a few lines. If you can write them down for me, then I'm all in." The disciples agreed to the challenge. All right, so they sneaked into the master's room. The rice pounder dude said some cool stuff, and the other student wrote it on the wall with rice pounder tagged below it. They were hoping for their master's usual mind-blowing reaction. The lines they wrote were mind-blowing too, like, "Yo bro, mind is all in your head. It's not real and neither is any reflection of it. And when there ain't no mind, where will all that mental dust even go? The one who gets this has found the truth." As we continue to explore these timeless teachings and apply them in our daily lives, I invite you to join our community at Zenful Living on YouTube. By subscribing to our channel, you'll have access to more enriching content that aims to guide you on a path of personal growth and mindfulness. Your engagement matters to us, so don't hesitate to like and comment on our videos, sharing your insights, experiences, and how these teachings have influenced your life. Together, let's cultivate a space of learning, sharing, and growth. Embrace this journey with us at Zenful Living, where every step towards mindfulness is a step towards a more fulfilled and peaceful life. Subscribe now, and let's continue this journey of discovery and transformation together. When the boss saw these lines, he was so impressed that he couldn't sleep. In the middle of the night, he went over to the young rice pounder's sleeping spot and woke him up. He said, "Listen up, take my stick and my robe. From now on, you're in charge, but don't hang around this monastery any longer. Go far away from here. I know there are a bunch of smarty pants here who think they're better than you. They want to take you down because they can't handle the fact that a regular rice pounder like you has reached enlightenment while they couldn't. You've got what it takes, and all while pounding rice. And I'm telling ya, wherever you go, people will flock to you, because when a flower blossoms, its sweet scent fills the air everywhere. Yo, check this out. There's this dude named Liang who was pounding rice. After he showed some respect to his master and bounced in the nighttime, things got real interesting. Cue music. Now, peep this. A lot of folks think that meditation can only happen when you're sitting down with your eyes shut, but guess what? That's not the whole story. You can totally meditate while you're walking too. You can actually meditate while doing your everyday tasks too. The key is to be so focused on what you're doing that you forget about your body. It's like that story of Liang, who was pounding rice and got completely lost in the process. One day, while he was pounding away, he suddenly had a moment of self-realization. Just like that, Zen is all about being in the present moment and not getting caught up in thoughts. The mind exists as long as there are thoughts, but when those thoughts disappear, so does the mind. And when the mind is gone, your true self can shine through. It's interesting because you don't actually need any other spiritual practices to know who you really are. All you have to do is get completely absorbed in whatever you're doing. Make your work a form of meditation.